Normally, in asymmetrical horror games, there will be different kits for the survivors to use. But in this game, Die of Death, there are many different abilities that you can choose based on randomized cards that you get. So in this video, I'll be ranking them and telling you how effective they really are. Hello guys, it's Jax Games here. I've been getting into Die of Death a little bit, and I've gotta say, I've enjoyed the game a lot. I've only been playing for around a day, or at least that's my play time. But yeah, this is my first video on it, and I'm pretty excited to make content on this game. How this is gonna work is I'm gonna rank them on how useful they are. And so this could probably help you make a decision. So like when you get those three cards with the two abilities, you could know which one is best to choose. This will also be kind of a guide on every single ability. Not like a full guide, just like brief tips on each one and what makes them good. So, without further ado, let's start with
Hey, give me the hot dog!
Hot Dog is an ability that heals you 15 health upon use and increases your max health by 5. But it will also decrease your stamina by 5 as well. Unless you have a caretaker or any other survivor ability that can heal you, I don't really see any reason to use Hot Dog, especially when it takes away 5 of your max stamina. Only use Hot Dog if you absolutely have to, but also try not to use it more than twice if you absolutely have to, because the killer already has 10 more stamina than your base stamina. So if you were to lose some more, then that would be kind of bad. Unless you're like insanely good at stamina management. There's better ways in healing this in this game than Hot Dog. So only if like other decks are bad, I wouldn't really use a deck with a Hot Dog because you're only using one ability if you don't want to use the Hot Dog. Also, I forgot to mention that the more you use the Hot Dog ability, the fatter that your character grows. So that'll just be a sign that you've used a lot of that ability, and the killer can just go for you and grab a pretty easy kill since you have lower stamina. It gets you more health, but I don't know if it's worth the sacrifice for your stamina. Anyways, on to the next ability. Taunt will taunt the killer, and upon landing, the killer will get slowness for a few seconds, and the taunt will get a force field for a few seconds. But the killer will also get images of taunt sliding across their screen. But if taunt misses, then it'll be a really long ed lag and can be very punishing. Taunt has a big hitbox, but he has a 1 second wind up, which could be reacted to if you're reacted on time. Taunt can be punished badly if missed, and also even the best that taunt can do is just images sliding across the screen, which if you turn epilepsy mode on, there will be one that's not there, I think. But that's the most they can do. The killer can still attack him, but it'll just be a little bit harder. It's not gonna interrupt anything, it's just annoying. But it doesn't really provide any worth to anything. Normally, I would put this probably in D tier with Hot Dog. But there is one thing that keeps it out of D tier, and that is it's a giant counter for Killjoy. When Killjoy uses his ability Deploy, in which he spawns in a bot, if you time it right, you can taunt Killjoy and it'll get rid of the bot, and you won't take any damage for it because of the hitbox you have. Not the hitbox, the force field you have. This can be extremely helpful because number one, it takes out one ability that Killjoy has, and number two, Sometimes you can feel like enclosed a little bit because of the bots. If you use that to get rid of his bots, then you will be able to get through wherever you want, whenever you want. But not every round is going to be Killjoy. So that's why it's still so low. But Taunt is planned to get a rework very soon. So it might grow higher on the list. But that's where it's at for now. On to the next ability. Dash is an ability that will make you dash forward or whatever way you're controlling on. Like if you're pressing W, then it'll go forward, WASD, But upon using that, it will take away 35 stamina from you. Now, dash is decent for what it is. You can get out of situations while you're cornered. Like you can dash out of a corner, or you can juke the killer and just create some distance with it. But it just takes away a lot of stamina, and with most killers, they can just easily catch up. Though it doesn't matter if you're still at 0 stamina, you can still dash. But the problem with that is it'll take some time for you to regenerate stamina. So like a Badware, if it has all computers set up, it could easily catch up to you. Or like a Harkin can easily use their ranged abilities to catch up to you. It's as simple as that. Dash is decent for what it is, but there's definitely better survivalist options. Now, on to the next ability. Banana Peel is an ability where you shoot out a banana, and if the killer steps on it, he'll slip and be ragdolled for 2 seconds. But be cautious because you can also slip on this banana. After about 25 seconds, the banana will start to decay if no one has stepped on it, and it'll eventually be destroyed. The killer slipping on a banana can result in a very easy stun by someone who has punch or revolver. This would probably be higher on the tier list if it wasn't so hard to try to place it in a good spot. Your best bets is placing it behind a corner, so if the killer makes a sharp turn, they'll slip on it, or maybe place it a little off the corner, but the killer can easily see that too. It's best off when there's like a really tight spot and it'll be almost impossible for the killer to maneuver around it. But at least not in my servers, the killers take sharp turns all the time, so it's kind of hard to figure out a good place to where to put it. You could also try to predict the killer's pathing, and so if they come to you at the right moment, the banana can make them slip, but it's kind of hard to do that too. Overall, it's a great ability. It's just hard to execute because if the killer just simply pays attention, then they'll be able to get around it. On to the next ability. Adrenaline is an ability. Upon use, you get 6 seconds of speed boost, but then you are stunned briefly for 2.5 seconds, and you get exhausted for 4.5 seconds. What exhausted is you don't regenerate stamina. Adrenaline is best used when there's more people, so you have a higher chance of losing the killer on your tail. It can also get you from being targeted. That's unless you lose the killer. But it's very risky for that last few seconds where you're stunned. The killer can catch up to you and punish you. It's also best used when the killer is at a disadvantage, like they have lower stamina than you, because it'll take them some time to catch up to you. It was between this ability and Banana Peel. The reason why I put Adrenaline over Banana Peel is you have much better chances of succeeding with this ability than the Banana ability. It can be very rewarding if you pull this ability off correctly. But now, on to the next ability. Cloak is an ability that allows you to go invisible for 10 seconds, but you also have Exhaustion for those same 10 seconds. After the 10 seconds, you'll reappear. Also, while you're invisible, if the killer hits you, you'll reappear early. This is also a great ability for getting out of tight situations. But you have to make sure you have at least almost full stamina if you're going to use this ability, since you have Exhaustion. If the killer is far behind, it's best you can turn a corner and then put Cloak on, and they'll probably lose you, and then you can run to another wall and hide. If you use this correctly, the killer can lose you, and you could probably make some great distance with it. Though there's a few downsides. If you're not careful enough, the killer can hit you, and you can appear again, and it will punch you badly. And secondly, the scratch mark that you have on your torso, if you taken damage, they can still see that when you're cloaked. So if they see that, they can track you with it. And Cloak doesn't count the aura reading for killers. If the killer has like an aura reading ability, then they can still see you even when you're cloaked. But there is another upside to it, and that's countering another killer, which is Artful. Basically, you can use your cloak to damage Artful's walls, and if they're low enough, you can also break them. How you do this is basically you just move back and forth from one side of the wall to the other. Just basically keep doing that, and that'll damage their walls. This is a really good ability for getting out of tight situations, and it's also an ability that can help your team against one killer. So yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good survivalist ability. But now on to the next ability. Block is an ability that allows you to block the killer's attacks. If it lands, then you regen 10 HP. It's kind of hard to predict when the killer is gonna hit you with their M1. So the best way to use block would be kind of to try to block their abilities when they're more predictable. And for some reason, you can block Pursuer's Cleave even after you get hit and after the bleed. You can block that and get some health out of that. So it'd just be like another ordinary M1. But also, depending on how far you are from Killjoy's M1 is pretty predictable since it shoots at you. It'll take some time to reach you, so you can easily react to that. But it might be a little harder when the Killjoy is closer to you. But a way block could be better if it was used as like a support and a survivalist ability. But since there's no hit priority in this game, it's kind of hard to use it like that. Basically what hit priority is like whoever's closest to the killer gets hit. But since there's none of that, anyone within the killer's M1 hitbox gets hit. So you could play it like a support and try to block someone, but it won't work because there's no hitbox priority game. It's just for you to get some HP. But overall, block is a good ability. It could be better, and if it was better, it'd be way higher on this tier list. But anyways, on to the next ability. Punches the killer and stuns them for 3 seconds while also dealing 25 damage. Punch is a really good stunning ability because it is simple to use. Basically, the best ways to use it is when the killer has like some end lag, like Pursuer's Cleave if he misses it, and like Badware when he's like setting up his computer. Another way to use it is just to wall camp, like wait for the killer to go past a wall and then come out and punch them. And also, you could also turn a sharp corner if you're being chased and then punch them. I feel like that's way better than just like stopping mid-chase to punch them, since that's more predictable. But all in all, it is a pretty solid ability. It's just not higher because there's of course better abilities, and you'll see why. Starting with this next ability. Revolver is an ability that allows you to shoot a gun, and upon hitting the killer, it will deal 50 damage and stun them for 2 seconds. But after shooting, you'll have to reload. I've seen so many people put Revolver as lower in their tier list videos or other things, but I'm going to tell you why it's all the way up at A tier. The best way to use Revolver is to use it when someone else is getting chased, so it's less predictable from the killer and it'll be hard to keep track of. And it has infinite shooting time, so it'll shoot and it doesn't go like a certain distance. It'll go until it crashes into something. Why is that good, you may ask? Well, if you time your shot right, you can snipe the killer from all the way across the map. I've done this multiple times. And oh yeah, it crashes into something. It has AoE. So if the killer is close to a wall, or if you see a survivor turning a corner getting chased, you can shoot into the wall and the AoE damage will be able to stun the killer too. If you're shooting from far away, it'll make it way harder for the killer to predict when you're shooting and react to it, because you won't know when it's coming. And what I mentioned with Punch, the best time to stun is when the killer has a little bit of end lag. The Revolver does 50 damage, and with some of the killer's health, killers are actually somewhat killable in this game with this ability, plus some punches, especially Harken. Revolver is such an underrated ability, in my opinion, and it is very powerful, more powerful than some people will think, if it is used right, of course. But that is where that's at. On to the next ability.
Don't worry, boys. The engineer is here. Yeah, still tinkering with that one.
Bonus pad is an ability that allows you to place down a bonus pad for when the survivors run on it. They'll gain a speed boost for 10 seconds. But after 50 seconds, the speed pad will disappear. But don't worry, the killers cannot destroy this bonus pad. Unlike Adrenaline that only gives speed to yourself, this ability can give speed to anyone and will help anyone get out of a chase. Especially when it is placed around a looping spot, then it excels very well. If it's placed around like a medium looping spot like the rock in the Glass Houses map, then the killer will almost never catch up to you. And you can place it in certain spots that will benefit the survivors. Like for example, this. If you offset the bonus pad a little bit to be like halfway off, then the survivors can run towards the wall and they'll still get a speed boost from off the ledge. This is kind of a bad image. I didn't really want to rotate through rounds in a private server, but kind of putting it right in between the two like spaces, like the one that's kind of like a window-ish thing and like a doorway. Putting it in between that can be good, so if someone's running up the ledge and running down, they can get a speed boost, and it's kind of like a two-way thing. Or you could also put it up the ledge, like kind of what I was talking about with the one on screen right now. But yeah, overall, a good supportive ability. It allows every survivor to have a better chance of getting away and providing that speed. And it has some versatility too if you place it in certain spots. But that's where that's at. On to the next ability. Due to the lack of healing, or at least good healing in this game, Caretaker comes in at a high tier. Caretaker uses their healing potion to heal a civilian 10 health, and then over time another 10 health. It maxed out at 25 health though. I think we all know why this ability is higher than the rest of the abilities, because there's hardly any healing in the game, and caretakers are the only ones you must rely on. You must keep these people safe. And it has a low cooldown, so you can heal pretty much almost all the time. Though the only problem with it is they have to stop and heal them. So you might want to heal people when they're out of chase, or you can try to get in front of them and then heal while they're running through. Caretakers are essential for a good team, and it is important that you must keep them safe at all times. If there are no caretakers and you have no abilities that can heal you, your health is only going to go down. There's no chance after that. And due to your abilities being randomized, there's a chance that there could be no one that gets caretaker, or there could be a bunch of caretakers. So those were all of the 13 abilities. But we're not done yet. There are two certain combos that are called synergy, and that's Caretaker and Bonus Pad, and Caretaker and Revolver. Caretaker and Bonus Pad is Care Pad, which basically makes their bonus pad like a healing station. And the Caretaker and Revolver is Love Shot, and so whenever you hit the killer, you'll heal yourself. These are better than the normal abilities because number one, these are two abilities, and number two, they make one ability of the two better. So without further ado, let's rank the final two synergies. What Love Shot does is when you shoot the killer, you gain 15 health from it. For Love Shot's low HP value, I'd say this is pretty good for it. You get 20% of your health back every time you shoot the killer, making this probably the best self-healing ability in the game. Not only that, but Love Shot is kind of an all-rounder. It's supported because the Caretaker healing ability, of course, it's a collaborator, I guess that's the name for the stunners in this game. It is also a survivalist for the self-healing ability. You could argue that this might go behind like the regular caretaker ability or maybe even the bonus pad ability, but I put it up here because it is like kind of an all-rounder with its kit, and it has the best healing ability in the game. Now on to our final synergy, or final ability, but you probably already know what that is. Care Pad is hands down the best thing you can get in this game survivor-wise. There is such a lack of healing in this game, and Care Pad is basically like a free healing center. You can get healed a lot without any cooldown. This is the best healing ability in the game. You can heal to full health in under a minute depending on how much health you have. And the best part is you don't have to hide it because the killer cannot break it. So it's just there until it's gone. So basically you can just put these in like sort of a looping spot or like a two-way escape sort of thing. And so when the killer comes, you can escape another way. Caretaker has 65 health, but you can easily heal that in like 37 seconds. I don't really see any flaws with this synergy, but the killers are going to be targeting you, so make sure you just place your stuff down and hide, and then find people that need help and use your actual caretaker ability. You probably would have expected this since healers are important in these types of games, especially CarePad, but literally sometimes badware that has to spend the whole early game setting up their computers has to go out of their way and try to hunt these care pads down because it's just going to be too overpowered for them. We finished all of the ability rankings, but I still got something to say. So the abilities in the higher tiers you should use the most, right? Wrong. Remember earlier in the video how I said Taunt is a big counter for Killjoy? The best abilities vary on the killer and in some cases the map. Let's say this round was a Killjoy and I got Banana Peel and Hot Dog, and then I got Cloak and Dash, and then the last one I got Block and Taunt. I probably want to play Block and Taunt because Block can easily block Killjoy's M1, and Taunt can get rid of the kill bots. Another example would be Badware. I'd probably want to pick a banana peel ability because you can place the banana peel under Badware's computers, and so when he sees you hacking or trying to fix the computer, then he can come over and possibly slip on the banana. Not only did I rank the abilities on how good they are, but on also how effective they are overall within the whole game. Hot Dog is at the bottom because it can't really counter any killer, and there is just better self-healing options. Bonus Pad is at the top because it provides like good value anytime you pick it. But that's everything I have to say, and that's all of my rankings. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys in a future video. Goodbye!
Elephant green screen effect.